Hello and welcome to the CUNY SPH Office of Career Services. We're happy to host today's membership information session with the American Public Health Association. And I am Tina Lynn, my pronouns are she, her, and I am your student career advisor. I'm also joined by Hannah Stewart-Lathan, the director of the Office of Experiential Learning and Career Services, and also a CUNY SPH alumna. In today's presentation, you'll have a chance to hear from Mr. Damon McWilliams, who is the Director of Membership Services at APHA, and he's going to share about all the benefits of membership. And he's also joined by Ms. Marcia Brown-Wimberly, who is the Membership Specialist Liaison with our Dean's Office. And so we welcome Damon and Marcia to this event and looking forward to hearing all that you'll share with us. And in addition to them sharing with us, I'm actually going to launch a Zoom poll because I think it'll be helpful for us to know who's in the room of whether you've utilized the services before. So if you can just drop into the chat whether you've logged on to the APHA website, that'll be helpful for us to know, just a yes or a no, and we'll begin. Thanks, Damon.
Hello, I'm sorry. You ready for me?
Yes.
I thought you were going to do the poll first. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not launching, so
okay. Oh, no problem.
Dropping into the chat.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Damon McWilliams. I'm Director of Membership Services at APHA. I have been with APHA a little over a year now. So a lot of things I'll be sharing with you are new to me as well. And like I said, I spent 20 years at the Association of Fundraising Professionals. And so I am ecstatic to be at APHA. To be honest, I didn't know much about APHA before I started. But as I've come over, I said that, the years I spent in the fundraising profession, so to speak, I found it to be a noble profession. And I share the same sentiments with public health, especially coming off of this pandemic. So I think you are in a great profession and you are very much needed at this time. So APHA is here to support your career as you move through the public health profession. And I'm here to share with some ways that we help improve your profession. Did you want to look at the chat first before I start? Let me see. Oh, yes. Okay. So I think I'll touch on some of those things.
Yeah, it looks like the majority of folks, if you've just joined us, we were just asking the question if you've logged on to your APHA membership site yet, because Damon will walk us through that.
Yeah. All right. So first, I just wanted to touch on. Give me a second. Can everyone see my screen?
It's great.
All right. So just real quick, a brief overview. APHA, we're actually celebrating our 150th anniversary. We'll be celebrating it at our annual meeting in Boston in November. The mission of APHA is to improve the health and public and achieve health equity. And our vision is to create the healthiest nation in one generation. And it'll be some real cool timeline-based activities at annual meeting, kind of highlighting all the historic moments that APHA has touched over the last 150 years. But right now, some of our advocacy efforts in 2022, of course, has been COVID-19, also to expand insurance coverage, identifying racism as a public health problem, all things from violence prevention, access to reproductive health, and of course, rebuilding the public health system, as we've seen, is in dire need over the last few years. So that's sort of the things that we touch on as an organization as a whole. Some of the key initiatives APHA takes on, we have a National Public Health Week each year in the spring, where we work with a lot of for-profit organizations to kind of spread the message of public health across the nation. We do a Speak for Health campaign, and we also do a yearly Get Ready campaign where we provide to-do list and how-tos to combat different outbreaks and instances within the public health field. Also, getting to some of our member benefits. We offer an award-winning journal we publish every month, online and in print form. We also do a newspaper, Nation's Health, that some of you may have received if you're already members. And we have an extensive bookstore of publications, and as a member you receive discounted. And we also provide a newsletter as well that you can sign up for with a lot of current events and information. We also, like I mentioned earlier, we have an annual meeting and expo, which will be taking place in Boston the first week of November. We have a public health career mart that I'll talk about a little later, where we post a lot of jobs within the community in the public health sector. And we also have a lot of professional development tools on our website at your disposal. Touching on the public health career mart, like I said, this is where you can post your resume, you can search for currently active jobs, and it's a free account as a member. And also we also post we post fellowships, and I just want to hand over to Hannah real quick to talk about a fellowship program that she participated in as a member of APHA.
Thank you, Demond, and hi, everyone. It's good to see you today. I wanted to just briefly share that there is a particular fellowship with the APHA for students, both in master's and PhD programs within the maternal child health section of the APHA. And this the student fellow opportunity is one that you essentially take on for an academic year if you are selected for this fellowship. And when I was a master's student, I did complete this fellowship and found it to be extremely beneficial, both in terms of being able to network and make connections in the field, as well as to hone and craft my own interests, both in maternal child health as well as in public health broadly. And it is actually part of why I have the position that I do now. I was exposed and able to lead professional development committee activities through this fellowship, as well as to work on policy briefs about effective mentorship. So it influenced my interest in workforce development and pipeline training in the public health field. So there are many applications of it, and I worked with some fantastic students and leaders while I was in that. So if anyone has additional questions about it and is interested in maternal child health, I'd be more than happy to speak with you about my experience. And I also will drop into the chat a link to the MCH section website on APHA, and you will need to be logged in to access contact information of the leaders of that section, who could also answer more questions to you, which is a good plug for you to log in and access your membership. So with that said, I will pass back to Demond, and thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you, Hannah. So just to recap, I would suggest as an action item that you all create a profile on the public health career mart. Even if you're not looking for a job right now, you can set up job alerts for things that hit that might interest you, so you can kind of get a feel of the type of positions that you may be looking for in the future, or if you're looking for something now. You can, like I said, you can get email alerts to your inbox, or you can actually search through the positions that are posted. So I recommend you do that. Moving along. So just one more time, save the date for Boston. That's when we'll be celebrating the 150th anniversary, November 6th through 9th. And I will go on some details to things that are specific to student and ECP members that may interest you, that will be happening at the annual meeting this year. And so we normally get around 12,000 attendees a year. Normally, last year we probably had around 4,000 to 5,000, of course, because of the pandemic, and we're just coming out in the first meeting back in person. But this year we are trending to have about 10 to 11,000 people attend in Boston. And so we'll be having about 1,000 scientific sessions. Hopefully we get close to 500 exhibitors. And one of the things that may be interest of you is that this year we're having a headshot lounge where you can get a professional headshot for your APHA lead profile or your LinkedIn page, or however you want to use in your professional life. So that, I've never had a professional shot, but I guarantee I will get one this year. That's a great benefit to have for you to use, in your career as you move on for different profiles. So those are some of the benefits that we're having at annual meeting this year. Some more benefits for APHA. We have a lot of member-only webinars. We have discounts to different universities. We have different discounts to even car rental and shipping programs. And two of the biggest ones that will probably interest you are partnerships and benefits we have with Big Interview and Savvy. Big Interview is basically where they help you get prepared for interviewing and for jobs. We actually offer this as a free service. You can create a free account through your APHA membership. The people that take advantage of this have really enjoyed it. They say it's helped them immensely because you don't know what you don't know. Especially if you're new to the interviewing world and you've never been through the process before. So this really gets you up to speed on how to prepare and get ready for your big interview. And we also have a member benefit for a company called Savvy, which for $30 a year, which is a heavily discounted rate. I think it's actually over 65% discount. So for $30, you can find out ways to get rid of your student loans, and especially now that they'll be doing up to $20,000 in forgiveness, I believe. Savvy will help you navigate that process and ensure that you get as much forgiveness as due to you. I'm gonna see some questions in the chat. Okay, thank you, Marsha. And make sure when you go to see all these member benefits from the link Marsha sent you, you have to log in as a member to see the extensive ones. You'll be able to see like a landing page that touches on it, but if you want to see more information and get the actual links, you have to log in. And speaking of logging in, so some more member benefits is basically our professional communities. We just launched a new community after a year of work called APHA Lead. We are very excited about Lead. For some of you that have been on Connect, it wasn't very user-friendly. It had a lot of hiccups in it. Lead is leaps and bounds better than Connect. So we hope to have a lot more engagement through the Lead platform. We have over 191 communities that's active already. The student assembly community is very active. We also have one for ECP, early career professionals, and different sections, which I will talk about in a minute. We also do a lot of advocacy work through the sections and APHA membership as a whole. Just touching more on Lead, like I said, the functionality is much better. We have a mobile app, a lot of activities on it. We will be launching a mentoring match module soon, hopefully by annual meeting, where we'll be setting up one-on-one mentoring opportunities. We've had a lot of buzz about that. So we hope to, provide a lot of mentorship for students and ECP members coming soon. And then we have some other things like volunteer module and an expert directory that'll be coming soon. And a lot of gamification and badges and ribbons are on the APHA Lead site as well to, kind of measure the engagement of members. And we have a lot of prizes that will be doled out in the near future as well. So stay tuned for some contests leading up to annual meeting that will be coming soon. And if anybody needs information on how to sign on the lead, you just go to lead.apha.org, click the blue button to sign in. The login is the same as your member profile. So if you've logged in for your member profile, it's the same exact information to access lead. And if you don't remember how to log into your member profile, I have that information as well. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. So just going back to about the sections, when you join to be a member of APHA, you are allowed to pick 2 sections as a part of your membership. It's 33 sections, 5 forms. Anyone who joins as a student is already part of the student assembly. Then it's 17 caucuses. So the 33 sections, as you can see on the screen, range from aging and public health, epidemiology, to pharmacy, One Health. So like I said, you get to choose 2 of these, and these are sort of your tribe. This is your people, like-minded people that share your interests. This is where you would get the most bang for your buck as far as your networking goes. This is where you would seek out your mentors, your fellow members, people in your areas of interest. We have a large amount of people that actually join APHA that do not pick sections, and then they say they don't get engaged, and this is why you do not become engaged, because you don't join your sections. I mean, it's very vital for you to join these sections. So like I said, you're around like-minded members, and this is where you're placed in your communities and APHA lead as well. So you can be a part of the discussions that go on based on these areas of interest. And so also we have 5 forums that you can join as well. And we have caucuses that you can see on the screen that range in different areas of interest. We have a website, I think a link, Marsha, if you can drop that link in there as well to join. So as you see, there are many ways to get engaged with APHA based on your interests. So like I said, we implore you to definitely join. And like I said, just to go back to the sections, it is very important. And just remember that when you join, you get to pick 2 sections. And if you are a student member, you are already included as a student in the student assembly. So that does not, you don't have to select that. You're already part of the student assembly. So moving forward, so to update your member profile, if you go on to apha.org, in the right-hand corner, you would go to login, and you will put your email address and your password. If you forgot your password, of course, you can click forget password, and we'll send you a way to reset it. And then once logged in, you'll see a drop-down menu. You'll see My APHA. You can update your contact information. You can also go in here. If you did not select a section, you can go in here and choose your 2 sections, as well as change your sections. If you decide that you don't want to be in nursing anymore, your interests change, at any time during your membership, you can go in and change your sections as well. And as you can see from the screenshots right there, you put update sections or your SPIGs. We actually don't have SPIGs anymore, so you need to update that. But you can update your sections, and as you can see from your drop down, you can choose your sections. And if you decide you want a 3rd section, you actually can pay a nominal fee of $15 to add a 3rd section. And once again, remember, if you are a student member, you are already part of student assembly, so there's no need to select that. Another thing that may have interested you, we just recently launched a Distinguished Leader Mentoring Series, and this mentoring series is open to student members and ECPs. We try to gear towards 100, no more than 100 people in the mentoring session over Zoom to keep it kind of intimate. So we've been averaging about 60 or so. We usually get over 100 or so to sign up, but only actually 60 or so actually join. But as you can see, we have very prominent speakers that we offer. Like I said, we just started this in April, and we hold it every 2 months. And the themes have been based on our 150th anniversary themes. And so they all three have been very, very good speakers. So I implore you, if you receive this email, for the next Distinguished Leader Mentoring Series to join as soon as possible, because we do cut off the list around 100 people. So going back, speaking of Student Assembly, Student Assembly is actually our largest segment of members within APHA. I think Student Assembly has approximately 7,000 to 8,000 of the 24,000 to 25,000 members. So I said about a third of our members are student-based. So they're kind of an organization within our organization. And we very much value the leadership of students, unlike some other organizations. And we actually have a student representation on our executive board. And so, yeah, so there you go. Over 7,000 members representing 30,000 countries, and many degree programs are represented throughout the Student Assembly. There are opportunities for leadership throughout the Student Assembly. Like I said, it's an organization within an organization. So it's a lot of opportunities for you to get involved, on the organization level if this interests you. And then there's a lot of benefits that come with being a leader within the Student Assembly, leadership roles on the council, ambassadors, and I mentioned the last bullet, board representation. Hannah, what did you do exactly for? Were you on the board for Student Assembly?
No, I didn't hold a leadership position in
Okay.
Student Assembly. I did attend Student Assembly as a student when I was an APHA student member.
Okay, I can remember. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing we have through Student Assembly is a campus liaison. I'm not sure if you all have, I'm sure you have to have a campus liaison, or Hannah, are you the campus liaison for?
I'm sorry, I don't believe so, because I'm
Okay.
looking through here. Marcia, would this be Paolo Lellis in the dean's office? I apologize that I'm not certain.
Yes, that I actually sent him a communication introducing him to our co-chairs for the campus liaison, so he's aware.
Okay, great.
But it looks like CUNY haven't had a campus liaison as of yet.
Okay.
So you haven't had to. Okay. Well, so this is an opportunity if anyone wants to step up to be a campus liaison. Like I said, it's kind of, you are the bridge between APHA and your university, to deliver and let everyone know of all these opportunities that are available to you. And we give you a little bit of swag and a little discounts here and there to be involved. So if anybody's interested in that, feel free to reach out to me or Marcia, and we'll get you in touch with the right people for that. And also we have a membership ambassador program. I will be including this, I will give this PowerPoint and we'll share it with you all. So some of these links in here, you'll be able to go directly to them once I share the PowerPoint with you. And also, Student Assembly provides a lot of scholarships, opportunities, and awards, but you have to be a part of Student Assembly to, and APHA lead in order to get the communications to know what's available. These are a list of some of the awards that we do give out, and scholarships that are available to attend the annual meeting. But you have to be involved to, you have to be in the know to know what's going on. And then, like I said, also an annual meeting. They actually have a national student meeting. I believe it starts a day before annual meeting starts, and it has its own specific scientific sessions. And like I said, we have scholarships and speed mentoring opportunities. And we also, like I said, have sessions and offerings directly for student and ECP members directly that are exclusive to just the students and ECP members. And there's a little more on some national student meeting, which occurs right before annual meeting. I think it will be virtual this year, as of last year. I don't know if it's going to be in person and virtual, but I can get back to you on that one. But like I said, the bigger point is that there's a lot of opportunities and information, and you have to get plugged in. And the easiest way to get plugged in is actually to ensure that you are part of APHA Lead and join these communities in your sections. And as part of Students Assembly, you also should be getting a monthly newsletter with opportunities and webinars that are just based for students. And which also comes with a lot of networking opportunities as well. And then to talk about early career professionals, I can't remember how many are on this call, but just to note that, you know, after you are no longer a student member, the next transition is to be an ECP member. And this is basically after you've graduated, you're moving into the workforce, you're allowed to be an ECP member at a reduced rate for 24 months after graduating. And I think you can join within 24 months, and then I think you can keep it for 3 years. And like I said, we have a lot of programs geared just towards ECPs, exclusive to ECPs, you know, as they transition to the workforce and skills for career development to help ensure your smooth transition from student to an employee in the workplace. And some of them are like APHA Lead. We have a community just for ECP members with exclusive webinars, and we have special events at annual meeting geared right towards EPCPs. And these are very valued sessions, especially at annual meeting. We have regular members that try to sneak into these events quite often because they see the value of it that we give to ECPs. Then you also will get access to CPH online exams. Earlier I mentioned, you know, the Savvy and the Big Interview programs that we have, and of course, you know, job postings available to you through the Public Health Career Mart. And that's about it. We have about 75 staff that are here to help you, anything you need. I can be your main point of contact if you have any questions, as well as Marsha. We'll be happy to help you or point you in the right direction, anything you need. And so our number, the 1-800 number, or the number to membership is 202-777-2400. And the email address right there, Marsha, you could dump it in the chat, both of those, make them available. You can contact us. And then also my direct email is damon.mcwilliams@apha.org. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And that's about it. Do we have any questions for me before we get off?
Yeah, so thank you, Damon, for that presentation. Students, here's your chance to ask directly any questions that you have, or even just share about what you're excited about checking out. Drop that in the chat or pop onto the, just raise your hand and be in the screen, or just pop on. We'd be glad to address those. And I'm really glad to hear about all of these services and benefits, as well as hear more about the annual conference. CUNY SPH currently has about over a dozen student presenters that will be at the meeting in Boston. Yeah, in November. And so we're really glad that they're taking, they're going to be sharing about all the things that they've been working on. And so if you're a new student here, really encourage you to think about checking out the annual meeting. And in the spring, as you're working on different kind of research, that could be an opportunity to put in a proposal to present a poster and that research as a way to apply your knowledge and build your portfolio and include that on your resume. So, so we're excited about the dozen students that will be there in November, and also about all of these other ways to engage and serve and grow in leadership. So a lot of opportunities, very exciting stuff. Are there any audience questions? Taking a look at the chat.
I'm getting some DMs as well as I've seen at least one question come through about logging in and accessing the member portal. So maybe, I know, Damon, we talked about possibly throwing those up. So I think it would be a good idea for our audience to share accessing their account and then logging into the student member portals.
Well, it sounds like some of them, from looking quickly, it sounds like some of them may not have got their initial information from SUNY.
Yes.
So
Yes,
you have to receive that first.
Yeah, October, I believe.
October, okay.
Yes, and if you're a new student here, the dean's office will send the logon information to new students in the middle of October. So for those of you that are new, we'll need to wait a few weeks, but for those of you that are returning students, you can take advantage of this now.
For those of you who have received your login credentials, are there any questions for Demond or Marcia about logging in or accessing it that you might have after being given these instructions by email?
I do see another question about research. Before I became a student, can I present it? You actually, I assume you mean presented at the annual meeting. You would have had to apply to be a presenter back in, I think it usually opens up around April, May. So you would have to wait for the next year. It would be too late to do it this year, but usually it's a call for presentations around April or May, with decisions made around July. So be on the lookout next year for that if you want to participate.
Yes, this is great information to know. As you said, Damon, it's like, and you got to be in the know in order to be in the go. So, so signing up and getting these alerts and planning ahead will be key to optimizing the benefits and your engagement and involvement.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah.
I don't know if I did a good job of covering everything, or are you just being shy? Which one is it? Maybe a little both.
Or we might have a lot of new students, so this is just new information and good to have. So. Oh, thank you for that note, that there is a new student in mid-career transition and excited to tap into the network and take advantage of the job readiness and peer networks. So that's wonderful. And also at the Office of Career Services, as your student advisor, please feel free to schedule a one-on-one career coaching appointment, and we can take a look at your resume and also discuss different career pathways as you're exploring that and applying for different opportunities, whether they be internships, fellowships, or new positions. So both myself and Hannah are here for you to support you on that journey from classroom to career. And Hannah has just dropped in the chat the online booking to schedule a career coaching appointment.
I would just add to, just to give another reason, not that you need it, to meet with Tina, is that the services like big interview that Damon walked through, I'm not sure if everyone saw in the chat, or for those who came in late, that Tina mentioned that this is a fantastic resource that she can use in your advising appointment. And so I want to plug that these can intersect in that way, that you can both log into your membership, access these fantastic sources, and then also receive specialized support from Tina in using them and starting to become comfortable with them, and that it can inform how she may be able to advise you in your career journey.
And so if there aren't any further questions, we're really grateful that you've joined us today's Lunch and Learn. We have a host of events coming up for the remainder of the fall as well. So be sure to get onto the Career Center website you can see a schedule of those events. They're also listed on our weekly email that is sent out every Wednesday. So check out information on there and just keep in touch with us. And we hope that if there are any other questions that come up as you're logging on to your APHA membership, we're looking forward to a new school year with a lot more involvement from CUNY SPH students. So thank you again, Damon. Thank you, Marcia, for being with us here today. And we're looking forward to an exciting school year as well as the November annual meeting.
Thank you all. Feel free to contact me, like I said, at any time if you have any questions.
Thank you, Damon and Marcia.
Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.